I'm Chad from Generation 3 Electric. Today we're going to change out a 100 amp main breaker panel. Now this isn't a main breaker box in the sense that you normally have. This is just a disconnect. Mechanical closet such where it's in right now to feed other apartments upstairs. So you would just have this one disconnect down here when the power enters the building, so you have to be able to shut it off. And this feeds the panel upstairs that controls the rest of the unit. But this is the main breaker for this unit. Now these have gone bad. They've been tripping regularly, and when a breaker trips, it's going to trip again easier and easier each time, and they just become a nuisance. So right now we're just going to change these out. New ratchet screwdriver. It's coming in handy, especially in tight spots like this. I believe this is a channel lock. In this application, the meter box is locked outside, so to get it taken off and turn the power off would be a huge hassle and would cost the homeowner unnecessary expense and fraud. So what we're going to do is just work with it live. It's something that a trained professional like myself can do, as long as you're a licensed electrician. It's tricky, but as long as you follow a few steps, you'll be okay. Turn the power off. Make sure that these are tight in there so they don't slip out on you, which they are. And we're going to go ahead and remove it like that. This wire is pretty thick. It's going to kind of stay where it's going to stay. So you don't really have to worry about too much with that. Now, I'm going to remove this one over here so I can get it out of the way. I'm just going to loosen it up real quickly. It's tightened down pretty tight, I can already tell. Okay, I broke it. I'm just going to put my finger on that just in case anything moves on it. There we go. Make sure she's nice and loose. There we are. I think it is. We'll go a little further. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and break this one while I got it there. There we go. Well, I know that one's completely loose. That one should be about right. I'm just going to put my finger in here like this. Hold them so they separate. Okay. Just try to ever so slightly wiggle it out. And there we go. Now that's separated. Now my apprentice already loosened these up for me, so it's ready to go. Get it nice and in there tight. My channel lock to tighten. Now again, I just want to reverse the procedure. Now I know there's going to be people out there watching this that's going to say, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, and oh, you shouldn't be doing this. But when you actually work as an electrician in the field, sometimes you just got to do stuff to get it done. It's completely safe. I've done this 100 times. I would definitely not recommend a homeowner do this by any means, or even somebody that doesn't have as much electrical experience. And you want to just slightly tighten those down, ever so tightly, nice and easy. Now moving it around will make the wires move around, so you just want to make sure that you have one extra tightness on it. And these aren't going to slip out now because they're already pretty tight, but I just want to really make sure to crank it down on there. Don't want to slip it out while I'm installing it. tighter the connection, the better the connection. Now, as you can see, it's not going anywhere. Now, just want to pre-bend these up to a position. It's fairly hard to do. I'm going to put it right here, bottom of the breaker on these two hooks. It's kind of tapping right to that bus bar right there, onto the load side of this disconnect. Bending those out like that. Make sure to get it in there first. Make sure the breaker is off. Okay. Make sure you got both sides on the bottom. Make sure the top is clear. Make sure you're in those grooves. And get it in. Okay. Well, now that that one's in, you want to make sure that your lines are pushed to the back here, away from the screws, so when you put the can cover door back on, nothing's going to hit it. Okay. All right. As you can see, the screws line up somewhat. It's an older panel cover. You would definitely want to hand start these screws when you get in there, because sometimes they can be a little difficult, especially if you're in an odd angle. The panel cover is just so somebody sticks their fingers in there. And then it's all safe. As you can see, a lot of people tend to use these mechanical closets as storage. Now, you're not supposed to technically put all this stuff in front of a panel. You're supposed to be able to get to it nice and easily. But that's not the way the world is. That's what we do. That's a 100 breaker panel change out, right? 100 breaker, 100 amp circuit breaker change out. Sorry, I'm a little hot.